God bless you. I love you. I was just reading Daniel real quick before I go to bed. So Daniel 3, where it starts talking about 3:16 to about 30ish, where it starts talking about King Nebuchadnezzar and Shadrach, Meshack, and Abed-nego, and Daniel himself. So Shadrach, Meshack, and Abed-nego will not bow down when Nebuchadnezzar brings out his idol. And he brings it out. Before he brings it out, it's like harps and flutes and all types of instruments, this calamity of noise, so everybody knows the idol's being brought out. Everyone needs to bow down and worship King Nebuchadnezzar's golden idol. And then Meshack, Shadrach, and Abed-nego say no, and they stand up. So he's like, I don't understand. When these instruments of mine make a calamity, you're going to come out and you're going to worship my idol. And then when it goes on, they don't worship. They're standing there, and then he's like perplexed. And Daniel says, I'm sorry, they're good people, but they're just not going to worship any other God but you. Forgive me, Father, not word per word, but they're not going to worship anybody but God. So the king winds up saying, okay. He builds this fire and instructs them to make it 7 times hotter than its original heat. So they do. So hot that after they bound up Meshack, Shadrach, and Abed-nego with all their garments, hats, clothes, and everything, the guards that went to throw them into this fire, they themselves burnt up from the heat of this fire. They burnt up and died from the very same heat. They got too close. That's how hot this pyre was. We'll call it a pyre because it's super hot. Well, King Nebuchadnezzar goes to the mouth of this pyre, and he looks inside and he sees Shadrach, Meshack, and Abed-nego. And they're not even being burnt. But again, also, he sees this 4th figure. And he's like, did we not throw 3 guys in there, not 4? And someone says, oh yeah, King, it was 3. And then he looks and he goes, I see the image of a son of God. And so he calls them, Meshack, Shadrach, Abed-nego, come hither. And they come out of the fire and they walk. And in front of them, neither singed of hair, not burned, their clothes just fine. And this details in the Bible, they didn't even smell of burnt. That's how far the detail is, that it says they didn't even smell of burnt. And remember, with King Nebuchadnezzar are the princes, the princesses, the servants, the trains of people behind him, the people that have to write down stuff every time the king does something, being witnessed by everybody. And that story made it right here. And after they didn't burn up, King Nebuchadnezzar said, we worship their God. Amen.